upon the scriptures.
I love that. As long as. Because that implies the obvious truth we all know. Obedience is conditional. Obedience is conditional. Obedience is conditional. Obedience is conditional. My obedience is conditional. If you follow Christ, I'll follow you. So, the fact that the governing body states that everyone's free to come and go as they please is another dishonest tactic. You lure people in and you don't tell them, well, you're not really free to go because if you leave, you'll lose all your friends and family that are in the organization. Not cool. Because it's not disobeying God to ask questions. It's not disobeying God to disagree with 9 men in New York. But people are kicked out of their families and friend groups for disobeying this group of men. That's a fact. Do you acknowledge that's a fact? See, the assumption is if you reject the governing body, you're rejecting Jesus. Is that not the assumption? Or can you reject the governing body and still be friends with Jesus? Is that possible?
Well, yeah, but those who cause division, I can grab a group of 10 people and say, you know what? I don't believe this. You know what he's telling you? That's not the truth. I see it this way. Am I not causing division within?
Yeah, if you're living in Eastern Germany in the 80s, yeah, you're a seditionist. How dare you question the government? But Christianity is not a fascist dictatorship. Jehovah accepts any and all questioners. Even Satan, the devil, is allowed to present his bogus questions. Why does Job serve you? Isn't it because of you put a hedge about him? But he heard him out still. So the pattern we're following is Job and Jesus. That's the pattern that we should be following. So there is no precedent in Scripture for taking any disciplinary action for questions or doubts.
But again, I have to keep going back to this. If persons have doubts, it's going to get to that point where it's going to cause division. More than likely. Not all the time, but more than likely.
I mean, if you're a Muslim, you have doubts. If you're a Catholic, you have doubts. You might eventually leave the Muslims or Catholics. That's why many of us are Jehovah's Witnesses. Because we had doubts to the point where we actually took action.
But it even happened among Jehovah's people that some could begin to have doubts to the extent that they feel so strongly about it that they start to say and do things that can cause division. So
that's true.
At that point,
so then you're using the scripture to justify the limiting or the taking away of the freedom of speech from Jehovah's Witnesses.
No, that's not what it is based upon. It's based upon what the scripture says. When a person gets to the point of causing division, what you said was different than what I'm saying.
How?
The scriptural counsel says that to keep you brothers keep your eye on those who create divisions and cause for stumbling, contrary to the teaching that you have learned, the teaching of Christ. That's causing disunity in the congregation.
Right. So according to that scripture, how should we apply that scripture?
When there's harm being brought to those that is following the Christ.
What's harm?
Spiritual harm.
What's spiritual harm?
Well, just like it is here.
The harm in their spirituality, the things that we have learned from the scriptures. Isn't the objective of Christ, the congregation of Christ, is to have peace and unity?
Well, the objective actually, as I'm sure you know,
above
that.
I know, above that.
Right, because he came to bring not peace but a sword, right?
One of the objectives, God is a God of order and of peace.
But more importantly, he's a God of love.
Yes.
So if you're exerting order and unity at the expense of love, unacceptable.
No, I'm not saying it because isn't.
And I know that you never would say that.
Isn't discipline a way of
It can be.
demonstrating love?
Can be.
Yes.
If
If
it's done according
the
to.
principles
That's right.
of Christ.
That's right.
Yes.
And that's not happening. And
Not ever or in certain cases.
it's not happening in many myriad of cases who follow procedure to the letter. Because the problem here is not just with individual elders who maybe are tired of being elders and just want to get the judicial committee over with quickly and I don't like that guy anyway, just fellowship. The problem here is even deeper than that. It's the whole procedure. The whole judicial committee procedure is flawed.
I beg to differ.
Because it's based on presuming to know someone's motives.
No, because when you talk to people and you allow them a chance to speak their mind, to say what they feel, and the things that they have done, it's not just based on just what you think.
Right. That's when you do it. That's when you do it.
That's why you try.
But I've talked to elders who don't do this at all.
I can't speak for them.
Right. But the problem is, it's so prevalent, it's so common that you're pushing people out of the doors.
And you don't have anything to back that statement up.
Sure I do.
That is so prevalent that's how it's being done in the organization. How do you have?
You could ask anyone who
has been disfellowshipped,
who's ever had a disfellowship person in their family, who knows how the judicial committee went. And you'll find many cases of people who will tell you, well, yeah, that was not done right.
But I think that's
you said
the exception, not the rule. I think that's the exception, not the rule.
Myriad.
Myriad. It's a lot.
It is a lot, huh? It's a big problem, guys.
But I think it's the exception, not the rule.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Because unfortunately, I can't take a survey of disfellowship people.
So it's just a hunch in your end.
It's more than a hunch because I have a brother and a sister who are disassociated.
A personal brother or sister?
Mm-hmm.
Did they disassociate themselves?
Yep. And my mom was disfellowship. Mm-hmm. So I know how many bodies of elders work, and it's not like you guys are working right now. That's why I'm saying this is not about you guys.
Myself, but I don't feel that I was done an injustice.
I'm glad.
By being disfellowship.
I'm glad. But if you're disfellowship for asking questions,
I know those brothers did.
If you're disfellowship for asking questions, then you would have been done an injustice. If you're disfellowship for disagreeing, for asking a question that stumped them, then you would have been wrong. I'm glad it didn't happen to you. Hope it never happens to anyone again. But my own mom feared that would happen to me. Why would she fear that? Well, she's been through a judicial committee. You see, where I might have some trepidation about meeting with the brothers now. If my own mom is saying, be careful.
Is that why you canceled it a couple of times?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I was making the right decision. Yeah. Absolutely.
And do you feel you made the right decision today?
Well, yes, I do. I do.
Well, just for the record, I like to say that, and I can only speak for myself, and I'm sure in the America the same way. We'd love to see you continue to be in the congregation. Mm-hmm. That's our desire. For you to continue serving along with us, serving Jehovah along with us. That's our sincere desire. When I was thinking before I came here, I was thinking it would be so good to see you, but I'll be happy to see you, but it just saddens me to see that it was under these circumstances. Mm-hmm. You know, it saddened my heart to know that it was under these circumstances. And so, you know, we would love to continue serving with you together in the current, but that's not totally up to me, you know, or to the two of us. It's, I mean, you have some say so in that,
and so does Jehovah.
Yeah. Sometimes, even though, and Jehovah knows who belongs with his people and who doesn't. You know, ultimately, he is the judge. Sometimes mistakes are made in regard to by imperfect men, or those who don't get put out of the organization and are still in. But Jesus is in charge of the congregation, and what is going to be Jehovah's will be carried out one way or another.
It will be.
If imperfect men don't do it, Jesus will see that it's done. That's why the angels say, the cherub, the seraphs say, holy, holy, holy. That's all they know. Yeah. It's holy, holy, holy. You know, and so they keep the congregation clean. Jesus and the angels keep the congregation clean from any impurities. So that's the confidence that I have.
I respect that.
That anything that's any imperfections, any wrongs that are done, they will be corrected. Maybe not when we want them to, but they will be corrected. What is wrong will be put to right. You know? So, but I'm thoroughly convinced that Jehovah is directing his people through the means that he's using, that we feel that he's using. There's no doubt in my mind about that, but everyone has to be convinced.
I wish you could just matrix that into me. I gotta
have anything else to share with us?
No, that's.
I appreciate.
Let's start with that little spoonful.
Appreciate you meeting with us.
I appreciate you being Christ-like in yourself as well,
and being honest and open with us. You know, I know that probably wasn't easy for you to do.
Not since people warned me not to be.
Obviously, there was some fear and trepidation on your part. Of course, now you share it with us why you feel that way.
Well, I just feel like even if they're right and I should be afraid of being kicked out, it doesn't mean I shouldn't meet with you brothers. Because even if you guys came here with your devil horns and your pitchforks and were like, oh, we're going to kick you out, still, I did the right thing by coming here and laying it bare. Fortunately, you guys are doing your very best to imitate Jesus Christ, so this went beautifully, as it should. You guys need to train some other halls. Seriously, you don't know. It's a desert out there, guys. Park is an oasis, and it's not just in the name. It is.
Can I say a prayer for us?
Yeah, I will.